Mm. You can't just add this background music. I think I should not like that one. Add music and then just calm. What that one is. I'll say good morning. And I'm going to say, well, who are you? It's the year of 2024. And I'm saying, if you don't know that you are relevant as you were born, whenever you were born, the trail you leave behind is truly a key to faith and understanding that you are here and you would not be here if it was for any other reason. Faith, Faith, is a reality. Faith is real. Faith is honest. And you don't like using that word faith, so you're not going to spell it? I will.
Hard to be in my position, couldn't take it. Yeah, we come from Atlanta, I can't explain it. And I know that we ain't never ever gonna stop till we reach the top. And I swear we ain't gon' flop, we ain't no mops. And I know that you broke, I can see it in your damn face. And I see everything in you, that's what it could be. And I've grown, letting go, I'm meant to look the other fucking way. Never known, no one said that love would hurt this much. And I know that you broke, I can see it in your damn face. And I see everything in you, that's what it could be. And I've grown, letting go, I'm meant to look the other fucking way. Never known, no one said that love would hurt this much.
Nice, huh? I didn't know it rolls back and forth. So, good morning and good day or good evening. It is 2022, and in America, ask who you are when you're looking in the reflection in the mirror and understand you are only who you believe you are. This is a half an hour of empowering oneself to understand that we have total control when it comes to what's happening within our own personal choices, but that's the only control you have. You have control as to how you will respond. And in America, the obligation to citizenship is that you engage in the process. So let's all stand together, shall we, to ensure access happens for the youngest and the neediest of children. In America, it's only you. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. E pluribus unum. Out of many, there's one, but out of one, there'll be none. Please like, subscribe. I want to take off this one or that. Where is it? I have it. Add it in there somewhere. No, I don't. This is the only one I want to play then. Maybe it's. Is it there? No, it's not. Mm-hmm. I don't believe that many people understand that this is a pivotal time in America's history. As there are red states and blue states, and so many people just don't key into what that really means. And as I have lived in a prominent blue state, and I understand what the red state does, understand It is not you, and it is not we the people, but it is we the people, and you ain't a part of that group. And as most people here, or most Americans understand, that there is just flexibility in America when it comes to states and states' rights. And so many people just don't know. They don't know anything. And that's just cool because the federal government is never going to come into a state and say, you got to change. No, they're just not going to fund what you want them to fund. And irregardless, if you believe that your senators have the power to legislate from the bench what America offers, you're wrong. You lost. I can't even put a sound effect in there because you just don't understand. This is where we're living.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So now you understand. It's just the age of Aquarius. And we are here. You know, this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. Aquarius. Hey! Aquarius, do, 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 do. I don't know the rest of that song, but those little pieces are in your brain, like little pieces of everything. You just continue to collect and gather until you have nowhere else to hold your resources. And then you must distribute them. And I'm going to start a show called Letting Go on Whatnot, if I'm allowed to create a show on Whatnot, because there are watchers that are watching me. Somebody's watching me. And baby, you better know we ain't free, because you ain't free. And you didn't know that bing, 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 human capital, Microsoft called it. Bing, bing, bing. You don't like to write that, do you? But it is the way it is. And as you were not paying attention to what human capital really is, or what it really was, or if it even had an effect on America's ability to be or not to be, that was the question. When I look at the prison industrial complex, I see you, boo, and I don't see me. But as I see so many people who are melanated in those confinement centers, I said, well, goddamn, they're confinement centers. What are they teaching them in there? Oh, nothing. Well, these are hot boxes, I understand, because here in the desert, who would ever? Oh, you know what? People who decided that those people are not worthy of having a cool, comforted place to be held in captivity in those confinement centers. Good morning. I'll be in Los Angeles. What? Watching a return home. Thank you so much. You're welcome. I have somebody I went to high school with here in Nevada, Joanne Nash, and she's awesome. I mean, but we all have our experiences in life. But what are your experiences? I've never experienced a confinement center, just as I've never experienced a menage a trois. It was just something that I just never wanted to do. But there are people out there that did it all the time. And I'm saying, well, goddamn, reality. I said GOTDAM. Thank you. You can correct. And the reality is that how these experiences show up in your life mark you as an individual. You've experienced something and it's difficult to unexperience anything. So like we all watched and witnessed George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Amir Locke. And I'm saying continuous lack of oversight of the federal responsibility to ensure that states don't burden you, boo. But you are burdened. Yes, you are. Good morning. Good morning. What's that? My son is coming out to occupy my space. My space is no longer my space. God damn. I just need to move over. It is sunny out here and it is already 95 degrees. 95 degrees. I didn't say 9 o'clock. I said it is 8:35 in the a.m. Not East Coast time, West Coast time. And in America, whose time is it really? It is our time. As an American, who are you? As the citizen, come correct, boo. Come correct. Who are you as a citizen? Because you really didn't give a crock of shit if you passed high school. So you didn't. And you can't read and you can't write. And all of this shit is just so dysfunctional and you don't give a damn. Well, guess what? Give a damn. It's hard to believe they let that shit ride. That's okay. As failure has become an option in public education for people with melanated skin, you ain't looking for nothing different. You get that letter grade of F and you keep it moving, boo. That's what you do. Keep it moving. Let the good Lord hit you. Or the doorknob hit you. Or the good Lord split you. Wake up. It's 2024. Even if you can't read, you ain't got to read. AI will read it for you. But you can comprehend. Pimpin' ain't easy. Oh Lord, you're not going to let it go. They let it go. I ran out of space. Oh, but I've only been on this live for 18 minutes and 57 seconds. And it is what it is. Pimping ain't easy, but someone must collect the harvest. Why not you? Why not me? Why not we? Let's ride the wave together, boo. It's 2024. And we're going to have to figure out that shit one way or another. One way or another. You can't find me. I bet you can't. I bet you can't. Whatever. We still got to pay the bills. Hello. Bills required. I was charging. You need a charge too? I got some charge here. Yeah, and you can talk to that just like a microphone, and it's really clear. Don't fuck up like the phone. I know. The phone fucks up, but that one don't. And you just have to connect it. But it was connected. Then I felt it needed a little extra charge because it dropped off. These motherfuckers was listening. Don't care. Yep. We gotta figure this out one day or another. We all good. It's not even on. It's just charging. We're gonna listen to something. Let's see what we're going to listen to. listen to something, add something. Where are we going to meet? Right here. This is what we're going to listen to. Mm-hmm. 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 Well, I mean, and that's how it was for my son's. That's how it was when my son needed additional help. I had to fight so other children could share their notes with him so that he could be included in the conversation because he didn't have a auditory processing disorder. It is. I was talking that day. I don't remember. I'm not trying to. Anybody hear the person I was talking to, but I was recording. Well, it's not an organization that has an intended purpose, but understanding that the intended purpose has been confiscated right now. And it is more into what the glam shot of America is about entertainment and entertaining. And it's really not about the mission of the NAACP and what they used to stand for. You have to build capacity. But in doing, I have to generalize from what I've seen here, though. And knowing that the national came in to do a training here and only one other person showed up. It was myself and then the chair. She didn't invite nobody else. It was all about her. And that they've had so many. If you go to the NAACP's website here and you look at the page, you would think that they were functional. You wouldn't think that they have a 259% suspension expulsion rate. And then you could go look at the schools and go to the board meetings online. You don't have to go physically anywhere. Everything that you really want to know about what's happening is online. So, that's the change in the narrative. The narrative changed and we have access to information that we didn't have before. But that means, that means that, the conversation that we have to have amongst ourselves is totally going to be empowering by empowering others to know the journey that we've been on and looking at this whole thing as, what do you want to say? It's different when you're really talking about the issues and the problems in the community and how things may change and what we need to look at and the outcomes of measuring the maintenance of effort where the money is going to, because that's where we should be. We should be able to have a conversation about what's working over here and what's not working over here. And it doesn't have to be a white or black thing, but what it has to be is what's benefiting all children. And we as Americans can't focus on the separation, but we really have to understand that the separation needs to bring attention to the journey of blacks in America. So it's not about. Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. They were out. So what? Max, I was talking to Maxine. That's what she's been edited out. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know. Conversation, but it was a phone conversation I was recording. I did hear it before. And then going back, I couldn't hear it all. It's almost like she's not there. Well, it's definitely, they were talking about it this morning on C-SPAN about the number of opiates, the opiate trade, I mean, and then how much. But and drugs. Well, even when they sell us the houses, they figure out how to get the money back. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. New, yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's not even the books. It's even if the books are there. Mm-hmm. But next, let me ask you this question: Why should our children? But why should our children be engaged in the most oppressive system that has been established? Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 It's money. Yeah, but you have, I mean, it's going to require the whole community to wake this system up. Yeah.
You'll see the light.
Mhm. Yes. Or it needs to be refilled off in a second. But still, you turn it one way or the other way. It just fills up really quick. And you have to twist it. It's got a certain angle it has to be in. It fills up really.
Oh, what to put it in?
Yeah. I mean, you know, but when you have a president, Mhm. Well, it's going to take some organization. It's going to take some organizing. It's going to be a lot of work that has to be done. How do we communicate when we? Mm, oh, wait a minute, they just cut us off again. Hold on a second. We got to go back live on video. This is funny. Every time you really start hitting about how to organize, then they cut it off, and that's. But we understand what's going on. We really do.
You were calling on the app?
I was in a phone call on the app, and I was recording.
It was a phone call?
Yeah, call in like a call in, but it wasn't recording their side. It didn't make public their side. It made public my side. But it's still a conversation. It's a conversation we all have to have. Yeah, they want to watch the vote. Because we're not talking about it. There's no place publicly to talk about what it looks like for people who look like you in the community. I thought I lost that little case. Boy, I was looking my ass off on it. I was in the car. I was in that car, and I couldn't find my ATM card. I said, oh, shit, I need to lose my ATM card at this moment. And it was in Chris's car because I put gas in the car. You know, the other car. And I see how quickly I would let go of that car. I got fined $241 to make the payment for that card this month. And he said he's out looking for the work, you know, to make the money. So he needs to come up with $200 today, so I can make the payment. Because even if I'm late, there's a late fee on that car. You know what I'm saying? What? And I'm not late until really today. Well. You understand? And
it doesn't even matter. Your credit tied up with
that's why Maxine, they're talking about truancy is such an issue. No, truancy is an issue. My credit is
he's got to make the payments
on this one. Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't even care about your credit. You got what you want. You
yeah,
got
I did.
A car.
I got a car.
So just deal with the car. You ain't gonna be able to control if payments is made. If this, you're gonna have to control about payments made on your new car. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Everything else
gotta go. That's why we have to have the conversation. We're having the conversation so we can enable and empower other people. I just didn't want to have any
No. I know what you're saying,
And I should
I'm
have
just saying,
thought about that shit before I ran over there and traded the car in before. I should have had a conversation before, and I didn't. This time I had to weigh it out.
yeah, but I'm just saying, don't worry about Chris not making a payment or making a payment, or they ain't coming to get that trash.
No, I know.
They're not.
I know. I just need to. What I do need to do is make sure it's insured because it's in my name. So
why would he want to be driving a car that he can't make
Mm-hmm.
money driving a car that's not insured?
So he has to pay insurance. He said he was going to go and pay the insurance.
Do whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
I'm saying you don't stress about it.
No, I'm not. I'm not stressing about it.
Yes, they are. And you know what? When I went to the mentoring, they had here in Nevada
I was trying to should I just
a look at the mentoring, whatever.
lower what I
It was a state meeting. It was at Nevada.
You know,
it was at the
on the other one because all he has to do is
Department of Education for Nevada.
right to drive.
And then they had black men that were on their bikes.
Self-entitled.
But they didn't
Because I
have
think
any
it's a
ability
self-title. I
to
was
talk
trying to get
about
the money.
the connection between the state level
They
and the
just
school level.
everything
There's a
that they've
whole
done.
piece that's missing in it. And that level
I'm
of
going to follow
current engagement
anyway.
come
Even though I
through
said that they
the
were
local board.
being truly honest and trying to come up above board because they didn't have to get any finance, but they did.
Well, I wanted to talk to those black men because they were in a position of power.
And I said, shit, they should have did that in the
Well,
first place, but they didn't. But what can I say? People are who they are.
The person that was helping you didn't want to help you like that.
Yeah, he wanted to help himself, and that's what happens. But you can't depend on the character of people, even when they have your interests at heart or your children's interests. They have themselves interests at heart. It's just only about them. It's not about anybody else.
It's never about anybody outside of the person. So I try to set everybody's an individual, no matter how much you care.
Everybody
Doing this shit for yourself.
I mean,
for me.
not everybody. You got a fire going, but I mean, not everybody, because I mean, you know, who I am and what I've done over time. You know, it's just real. Just like Lori Santos. Lori Santos, she passed away.
At the end of the day, you still do stuff for yourself.
Because
you're an individual. You play this world by yourself.
Yeah, and I got to look out for my best interests.
Yeah,
so
everybody does.
But if you're not, then you're getting fucked. That's just real.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, it doesn't really matter because no matter what people are doing, I'm gonna keep this article too. I mean, because people choose to do things. Yes. Okay. Yep. The deal is that you know things happen every day and they become part of the history, and it's not necessarily provided to you. You don't necessarily have to understand the history, but sometimes the history or the lesson that you may have experienced and didn't have to go through it again. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for the shift.
Once you go through the lesson, you don't need another lesson. Why would you? You understand? You understand what I'm saying? You do. Sure. It's just real. It's all life's about lessons, and I've learned a lot. And I'm grateful.
Yeah, you can even take a class on it.
But when I'm not gonna sit down and pretend that everything is a-okay here, and when people tell you that that's above their pay grade, that somehow it is above their pay grade. Bullshit. No, boo, you didn't understand. It's never going to be above mine. I'm always going to have something to say. You know? It's just real. Is that just a bush?
Did some
Bush.
huh?
Nothing I need to say. Big Mom Flutter. She funny. See how your grandma was? She said return to 2214 College Street. She didn't say return to Delamain Williams. She said return to. I mean, that's the statement who she was. That's what I'm saying.
That's the issue.
She didn't have to put her name on shit. She left the property. I think I'll say this one.
Yeah.
Their niece. Just a few lines. I wonder who the niece was. Your Aunt Ella Redmond. Oh, this is Aunt Ella. It's not even, it wasn't Della. That's why.
I think it's time for elections here, actually, and I mean,
I'll save it.
Pick it up. Because the ones that they bring in are the ones that they want to go from there. And that's kind of like pizza. They still do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. 1983. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, that we have to change. We are, Tony said, you act as if it's the fierce urgency of down, but it is. We've already lost everything. And anytime you can't help a student who's in the 12th grade, the low grade level, and they only have 25 credits, and there's nothing you can do to support that child. No, just one because the parent has to. The parent, the laws of compulsory education mean that the parent will be punished if the child don't step up and go to school, even if they're in vain. And so that's why I said that there are, until we address the issue of how many kids, there are none. There are none, but it's happening. It's rampant.
Clean all that shit.
You just a vacuum cleaner. The vacuum cleaner works right there.
I know.
You can empty it.
The vaccine. That's why I said that, Sac
I
City
knew that's what I was
is
talking.
notorious for putting kids in certificate of completion programs and pushing them out the door unprepared because they didn't have enough credits or they weren't scoring. They were below grade level for the whole time. They're not trying to catch them up. They're just pushing them out the door. They're ensuring that their existence is maintained based on the failed services that they're offering. They don't have a good program. It's not good. And the only way you get good is to stand over them and force them to do the work. And that's just the bottom line. And we don't understand. When we go in there and we have wrong attitude, we go to jail.
Mm-hmm. It's the
But,
same thing.
but it's the same thing for that woman that I'm supporting. Her ninth grader was the same way. Her 10th grader was the same way. And still, they've made no progress the whole time they've been in Kennedy. Just getting promoted with the letter grade of F. And that's what I'm saying.
Handling difficult.
How do you promote
their
children with the
patients
letter
like
grades
they're
of
in
F?
there,
What is that?
putting their money in.
And the community
Putting
doesn't have a
their money
company.
in. They're
It's
difficult.
happening.
I mean, honestly, if you look at people like they're sick, they're easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Like, you have a sickness.
That's right. But promotion happened. And that's what's happening.
Justify your thought process on it.
Mm-hmm.
But they might catch me in a different area where it look like I'm sicker than them.
Early childhood education.
It is what it is.
Every day. It can be no more than what it is.
Right.
Okay, Tyler, can't wait to get home.
Yep. He said, call him. He said, make sure when I get ready to go and leave to go get him, he said, let him know so he can prepare and take a shower, whatever. And, you know what I'm saying? So he can get ready. 1991.
But I'm not saying that there's not a success model out there for African Americans. But I'm saying that we have a personal responsibility. Yeah, but we're not even talking about that. We're not talking about the number of children who don't start early childhood education early enough because the state laws in Nevada says 7 years old. So, people walking around, their children are not in school. At the age of 7, when they do come, they're not prepared. And right away, that collection of dysfunctional data about how that child doesn't know how to put their name on the paper, can't cut with scissors, can't write, have math skills, basic skills, just documenting dysfunction.
You owe $32.
What happening? What kind of programs for support are happening in the community? Churches used to do it. We used to do it. We used to do it in the churches. That's how come Head Start and Early Head Start started. It was a reality that we fought for these programs. We fought for SNAP. We fought for food stamps. And we fought for all these programs that are embedded in the system. And now we don't participate in the oversight. We don't participate in the ensured maintenance of our access to those services. And we have to have conversations with our people so that they know they have a personal responsibility. When they're having a meeting on how they're going to reduce the food stamps, well, perhaps we should send someone to be in the room. We don't have to go ourselves, but someone needs to tell us if we consider to be leaders. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm going to share something else here.
Mm-hmm. What's possible, what's impossible, nothing is impossible. But what's possible is key. And it's really the work that we have to do. The work that's there for all of us. But if you don't understand that you have to be a part of the solution, not part of the problem, and you can't step up, that's real. Because failure should never be an option. But what is failure? I don't know. What does it look like? I don't know. As I'm continuing to wait to understand what it is that I see, because you don't see what I see. You don't see what I see. Like I said, I was trying to do the whatnot program. It's real. And it wouldn't let me. My devices just wouldn't love me enough to let go. So I'll have to do what? I'm going to have to teach them that it is me. I am the leader and I pay for what I need. And that's just real. Maybe I sold an item. Hold on, I got to check eBay. Just a minute. They got a notification for me. Uh-oh. Viewed 6 times in the last 24 hours. Oh, they might want to be buying my mama's walker. Mm-hmm. I said I wanted $75 for it. I'm gonna leave it like that, and then because that's the only one I left out there. That's right. It's a cool one. Yep, everything is cool, calm, and it's almost like a new month, and people have a little bit of change. And so, if they don't have a walker, they might be interested in getting the walker. I have more than one, and my cousin has notified me. And she'd like to claim on the wheelchair, and she'd like to claim on the walker. And so I said, so certainly, you can claim on it. You can have it. I was wondering why God didn't allow me to sell it in the first place. I said, it is real. Because you have to understand that before you knew what was going on, someone already had a plan for your ass too. You said, oh no, did you not know I'm not part of the harvest? Shit. Damn, it's difficult living in America when they see you coming. Harvest time. Shit. Everybody got something to say. What can I say? Who are you? And it is the year of 2024, not 2022. Of course, when I started my journey, it probably was around 2020. They have all of these awesome tools out here, and they are nothing more than tools. But it matters that you understand how to utilize them.
Good morning.
Okay. Here we go. A break.
How are you?
We are doing well. I am doing well. Got a guest with me.
Do you really?
Mary. Yeah, Miss Isa. Mary Isom's here.
Oh, awesome.
Awesome, yes.
That's Harrison.
And
that's a replay
with
of
some
the
interesting
show.
information that you've been putting out about identifying the Fed, some of these departments and what their obligations are.
I mean, but our obligation is just to understand that it is our responsibility to understand how this country works. And we're really just now coming into play. That's my son's book right there. I posted it. And so I want, I mean, because
This is a bag of trash.
but he just needs to understand that, we're in control of our own journey. This is us. And if we're not having a conversation in regards to where we are with amongst us, the NAACP is having their conference here next weekend.
Oh, that should be a big deal.
Well, it should be, but I just never heard of it. Then I went back and looked at my email. My sister sent it to me, and I guess I had gotten notice. But, because there's a cost. I don't have any money, but I certainly want to meet with some people that are coming here because there are people that are certain levels, and, we're all leveled out, right? Where we are is where we're supposed to be, period. And God has given you the tools necessary to operate in the spirit where you should be operating. You just have to step up and do it. If you believe in yourself,
That's very interesting. And I'm trying to get away.
But you do understand that everything is about what you know already, nothing about what you don't know.
Right, I understand that. I'd like to think that perception is king on that, but nonetheless, everything is really subjective. What works for one party might not work for the other party.
And that's how come you listen. Because you just need to understand how they approach the problem and then approach it with your skill level.
Right.
Yeah. Because you're the one that has the different set of tools,
Yeah, everybody has their own tools.
Yeah, And it's Marianne, his mother. How are you doing? I'm fine. How are you? I'm so blessed. You're blessed too because you have a very gifted child with everything that you've given him. Don't want to waste any of his goodness on frivolous chasing demons. But you say it's frivolous, but you do understand we've been unsuccessful as to where we are. And so there's got to be something that does work. I used to work in the SCLC as their public relations director down in Atlanta. William. My children, both of my children were living in Atlanta for a minute. And they were making lots of money, but they were doing scandalous stuff, whatever was able to. But, when you're not on task and when you're leaning to your own understanding, it's where you are. But then when you start having children and you have an obligation to those children, then you have to make life better for them. And so we have to do different things. And so I'm blessed.
Well, I'm glad you are, and I know you are. And I'm glad you can recognize it every day.
That's why we have to be grateful for the gift. My sister keeps on telling me, Marlene, you don't understand. We don't have a day to waste. And you know why? Because tomorrow's not promised. And they've never been promised. And that's why I know that.
The attitude.
It's a perception. You said it when you got up here.
Yeah.
You can only see what you have saw. And then you have to make sense of it with what you're experiencing.
Exactly.
And so,
I think people find what they look for.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day. But the most awesome thing is that we're here. We understand that there's power in knowledge. And then we're willing to use the power that we have received as the gift. Because, everybody got a different gift. Now, come on now, what did Kendrick just do? But Obama said that between Kendrick and Drake, there was no competition. Because he was listening to Kendrick. And, and I listened to Kanye West too, and he's very intelligent, but he was just crying out in pain. How could we be here in the year of 2024 and still pretend that we make no difference? Because we do. And so, but it's your belief in yourself.
Yeah. people looking for validation.
I mean, but you can't, you have to validate through who you are and through what you have accomplished and not been afraid to try. Because did it work for you? Or did it not work for you?
Well, see, that is a subjective measure. You know, I've done some productions that did not make a dime.
But guess what? They wasn't for the dime. They was for the building. That was for the knowledge. That was for the capacity to reproduce again. Because what didn't work might work the next time. You know that song? We fall down, but we get up. You know it, right? 'Cause a sinner is just a sinner who fell down and got up. Look for it.
Yeah, okay.
I'll find it. Yeah, I'll find it. If we have enough time.
We fall down.
You know, I appreciate you talking to my son and give him an objective. It's just, we're doing the same thing. But, you know, our children can't hear us. Pharaoh's coming in the room, I think. Because Pharaoh's a young man, too. And he's about my kid's age. Good morning, Pharaoh.
Yeah, I'm 36 years old.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Hello. Good morning.
I'm just a young man here to be a sponge and soak up all the knowledge and insight you guys have.
Oh, yeah.
I have young insight. I'm a very young mind and heart, and the young people admire and love me, so I have great insight on the youth and the young adult community.
Good.
That's great. They need it. It's so easy for these young people to get misguided, and sometimes making a mistake can cost somebody for such a long time.
Oh, and, it just takes one moment. I mean, that's a moment in time that you never can regret. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's like you're in the room, and then which way do you go? And if you make the wrong choice, you got to sow the seed to get back to where you were. Why? Because you didn't pay attention. Now, here's this song, and you know we don't own the music rights. We don't own the music rights for anything, but when you put it out here, they expect something else. They don't want us to socialize. They don't want us to do this. Now, listen. But we get up, oh yes, for our Savior is just a sinner who fell down. But we couldn't stay there, and God sing now. There's a seed of righteousness inside. Oh, we sing more. We get back up again. We fall down so far, but we get back up again. Yes, we do that. Rise back up again. So you guys do know that every time we do something as a people, then they try to limit what we can do and work together to build capacity. That is their number one thing that they want to do, is to limit our ability to work together. As I tell them, wherever one or more gathered has always been a problem. But we have to change who we are, huh? It's not supposed to be. We're supposed to be able to lean on someone, they help you up. Yes, but you know that the universe will prepare you and lead you to where you need to be. You just have to be open enough to hear it. That's why I think that I'm supposed to be where I am today. But of course, not really. Huh? No, I turned 71 yesterday. Well, happy birthday! Because you're a Cancer just like me. My birthday was June 30th. Is that right? Yeah, and my stepfather
father's birthday was June 30th. And then my cousin's birthday was July 1, right? But my kids are all Taurus, the bulls. And so, and my mother was a Taurus too, which made a big difference. Oh, Lord, it really did. I mean, but when you understand the signs and the seasons, I mean, there are just times where we have to give more than what we want to give, but it doesn't really matter because it's us. And whatever the gift you were given is a part of your storehouse, and it is what you're expected to give because it's not money. It's never been the money. But what can you give of yourself? A lot of people can't give nothing, and you do know that, right? Mm-hmm. Huh?
I suppose some people cannot give nothing, but that's why I like your persistence in what you do, because you are applauding your gift. And people applaud you.
Well, I mean, I think that, we just need to build capacity. So when we build beyond what they're doing, right? Because they've always controlled the narrative. And whenever we were together, I mean, it was always about shh. But whenever they do something criminal, you can't see. Well, you have to say, "Oh, who did that?" And then look, and it had to be somebody white. But when we were overseas, they used to they showed their face, but they put a black mark against their eyes so you couldn't see who they were. You couldn't identify them. But we know that Emmett Till, he still died. We also know that we haven't been able to address that issue in America because he was just a kid. We don't want to end up in those situations.
I think they found that woman in Kentucky.
But they know who she is.
Yeah.
They just couldn't. It's choice. They chose not to. So they're So understand me when I'm saying we're living in the greatest nation in the world. We're in the entertainment capital of the world. And we are the harvest. So goddamn. Understand, as long as they are parading our people in front of us, we can't afford to participate. And they're not.
You heard?
Huh?
Have you heard Nina Simone's "Goddamn the Pusher Man"?
Oh yeah, and we need to push more of those songs out because that was way back when, and she was saying it's just like what is it, Hattie? What the woman who went to jail for trying to vote or trying to organize the Black Democrats. I mean, come on now, we understand the cost of awakening. And we're willing to run the risk because we know that we've been protected too by the shield. Because it could have went wrong any day. Huh?
Yeah. It's the best way to be. Go for it. I said, look, if life is set up that when I came in this world, I got all kind of challenges. I go through my life, I got all kind of challenges. So
but you're not holding on to those challenges. I'm saying you learn from them.
What I'm saying is, if I'm supporting what you're saying, because if at the end of the day, if I'm just going to end up going down, I'm going to go down for something. I'm not going down because I was born into an equation that was tough. I'll go down because I chose to advocate.
I mean, but at the area, because you're educated, you know what I'm saying? You have a lot of knowledge, which brings a lot more power to the table than others. And so you just have to make sure that wherever area you're working is where you're supposed to be because that's where your knowledge is. And using that knowledge as leverage. Huh?
I understand what you're saying, but
my sister tells me I'm talking above people's head all the time.
Well, I think she might have a point, and she probably does.
Yeah, she probably does.
Yeah. For me, it's like, it always baffled me. People like, well, like in a job interview, they're like, well, what would your ideal job be? What industry do you want to work in? I'm like, that is a bizarre question to me. For one, I'm in a small town in Kentucky, so the industries don't exist, or they used to not. And you're telling me that I actually have a choice? That I can actually choose? I don't have to just take what I can get?
Of course. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. Of course you can, because you can create the industry wherever you are based on your level of skills and based on your knowledge. Nothing
Well,
but.
you're right about that, but that's very difficult, darling.
Listen, darling. For some who have an at-home job.
Yeah, okay, let me explain, because, after my workers' comp injury in 1997, they put me on Social Security. I was grateful because, it really was an injury based on a work environment. And so now I understand to the level of the injury and what they made a decision on. But my son was born with a neurological, developmental problem because chemicals are real. And so just that fact that I was able to go back through the whole educational process with my children. And I know that so many families, so many Black parents don't have the time or the money to protect their children while they are, working and trying to survive. And so, sorry about that. Okay. We just have to make sure that our feet get to the table when we're talking about the development of our people since 1859 or 1858, whenever they want to say. Huh?
I'd like to know, do you know any Black investors that would invest in an idea?
Well, that's why I said that, the NAACP is having their national conference here. And they had one in Chicago too. But wherever they have them, wherever we are having. Well, that Claude Alexander, he talks all the time, but then you just have to listen to Dr. Carr and Karen Hunter. They have conversations too, and they're bringing people to the table. And I'm saying when we learn how to work together, because, Black people have a lot of money. Let's not pretend. And if we could get 10 of them to give $10 a month to learn to get to where we are, people are willing. They smoke weed every day. They can come up. If they can really come up, we need to understand that we can give them an opportunity to come up and just have them join in on the conversation. Even $1 for your dream. If you had 100 dreamers, giving you $1 a month, that's $100 a month, 100 people. But if you had 10, now think about how they think about us and know that we are the harvest. And we've always been. Because we just
is we are money that we can spend.
Yes.
We are labor that someone can allocate.
Yeah, but when you change your mindset, there are people that, my son, he was doing like logos, and there are people that just do logos, and you just pay your money and you get the logo. You don't have to you don't need that. You understand what I'm saying? So it's really down to our basic needs, and we need to know how to work the game, because the game don't wait.
Yeah, I know. Look, darling, it's so funny.
Now it is. You can laugh. Huh?
Like I can laugh, but it's like a carrot. It's like the dangling carrot.
Yeah.
And it's right there. But the good news for me is that there's the carrot, and if I run towards it, I'm probably just going to be better off.
The hard thing is that you're learning how to manage what it is that you've learned, and all you have had over the years is a level of skill sets that can take helping other people get to where they need to get. That's what you always do. Now you need to help yourself get to where you need to get. That's why I told my son this morning, and he was talking about, I tell him, Plant-Based Daddy is his website, you know what I'm saying? And I say, you need to just promote yourself. 10 minutes a day, helping people.
Right.
Rear their children, because these people are killing their children. They don't know shit, huh?
That's good advice that you gave him.
I'm trying to, but but you gotta understand too, what we lack is what? Confidence. Because nobody ever gave us that. Nobody gave us that confidence, and nobody.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes. Did you say something? We're listening.
Oh, okay. I don't know if y'all can hear me.
But you have to say something first.
What I'm saying is, you gave him good advice, but it's not necessarily the thing to do. it can be difficult. Like if you write a book, you go do what you need to do to get it designed, and you get the product. It can be tough to sit down and market it too. So you did the right thing by telling him that, and I'm wishing him the best. Me too. But Pharaoh, I mean, confidence comes from your ability to see yourself moving in the right direction. That's where it comes from. Yeah, I agree. That's why I gave my son's number. Say that again. Oh, my mom was saying she liked the name. Oh, Pharaoh? For a long time. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome. Mm-hmm. But we have to understand that, they gave us something to pay attention to. They gave us cartoon characters. They gave us Superman. They gave us the famous Mr. Ed, the Green Hornet. I can't tell you where I have not been, but I do know that we're in the Matrix. So when you start to put away and wake up, they see you right away. And that girl, she wrote that book, but god dang, she did write it, didn't she? And we are now, just now, after all these years, we wasn't paying attention, even when she did it, and even when we watched it several times, we didn't pay attention. But now you can feel it. The moment you go off and say something where you might engage 2 or 3 people, somebody's saying, wait a minute, something's happening over there. Yeah. Or the moment you have a mental episode, a mental breakdown, tell the kids that school is a drug hospital and that they're making me look like a nigga right now. I'm not a nigga. We're family. I mean, but that's your perception, Pharaoh. That's where you're coming from because that's what you feel and you're expressing your feelings and they can control you with self-expression. And they didn't like it because the students had a riot 3 days later. The students felt what I said. The students knew I believed in them. And that's why they came to my defense. You have to understand how you rear children, too, because you don't have children. Then all I'm saying is that what you have a right to do and what you should be doing is to nurture them, no matter what. Regardless of if we're living in this dysfunctional thing, you cannot give them lack of hope. It's key in nurturing people and ensuring them that there is something on the other side. And if you can weather the storm, because when I first met, say your name. I know. Harrison. Yeah, Harrison. Harrison is like a last name, but when I first met Harrison, he was playing the games with the locals, the local law enforcement. But you were playing a game, and I'm trying to understand what you were doing. He was sitting out there. Because that's your freedom. It was my freedom, but from the comfort of my porch, I could say. But it wasn't your freedom because you were jeopardizing yourself. And anytime you put yourself in jeopardy, that's exactly what they're going to do. It's because they're going to play the game better than you. You're right. And I was having pretty much a mental breakdown. And I was confounded. But I told Errol the same thing. He's over there playing games with the network administrators. I said, those are people you don't play with because they can push it on you that you can't get on. Yeah. That's why you have to be careful. Mm-hmm. So listen, you had said, I was really taken back because you said, who are you going to be in 2023? And it just, I wasn't in the right mindset at that time anyway. But I was like, boom, I don't know, But you're so intelligent. But you're intelligent, Harrison, you're very intelligent. I could hear it. It's hopelessness. It's hopelessness. You have to have hope. That's in the Bible. You have to have faith. That's in the Bible. You have to have forgiveness. That's in the Bible. You're right about all this. All those things. You don't have to be connected to a building to understand that the universe is within you and your spirit is in you and your church is in you. Everything is in you. Choice. I'd be wrong. When it comes down to personal philosophies, I had seen so many negative things. I'm sure we all have. You may have seen them, but that's a road you're not going to go down. You're right about that. And it was wrong that I sat and tried to convince myself that the wrong was right. And I just try to purge that out of myself. Really, I prayed against it.
Well, because but you sit up there and watch your television, and I can watch the television too. And then I can say, oh, that was sick. And then I'm saying, why am I watching that? Because I need to kill some hours or a lot of time and get away from what's really happening, because what's happening out here is that they don't want to hear us. They don't want to know anything about us as a people. They've just been harvesting our people forever. And so now, because of COVID, and we could be ever so grateful that COVID happened, because now we can just look at the data and say, excuse me, the data demonstrates what it demonstrates, and the data doesn't lie. So we can hold them accountable for what they've been doing. And it's just a mere conversation. They just need to explain themselves.
It's a never-ending explanation,
isn't it? I'm sure there's all these excuses as to the possibilities of the lack of outcomes, but guess what? From my pocket to yours, bullshit.
Right.
Because they're still taking from us as a people, and I'm saying, as long as this is the entertainment capital of the world, and we are. Bing, 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 human capital. Understand that it is your responsibility to just say, excuse me, but I just need to know what the offer of free and appropriate actually looks like, because these people over here don't seem to be making it.
Yeah, and you can follow them wherever.
That's it. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, Lord, you can find them.
He or she that controls the money and entertainment runs the world.
But no. You can't think of it that simple, because people give. The gifts are given, and they're not from you. The universe gave that person that gift. Now, what is expected? To whom much is given, much is expected. But we have to have an expectation out of what their gifts were intended, because it is our population of people that are being steered wrong.
Yeah, but what controls people's expectations?
Positive outcomes. I mean, if you have something that you can believe in that happened for you that was good in your growing up, but if you don't, then you have to look for what is the gifts are in life and what makes you feel good, because you're nurturing what you need to know. What makes you feel good is what's relevant to you.
See, when I talked to you about developing some convictions, it was part of that conviction about how the media and entertainment is a powerful tool, and it can control people.
I mean, but
it controls people. That's what it literally controls people.
But come on now, Michael Vick. What did Michael Vick actually do? But then this black woman, she hit her dog with a skillet or something and killed the dog. Now she's on. But she got some anger management problems. But she killed the dog, so now she's in jail. But come on now. Now, white man, there's white people that shot 92 bullets into that black man.
Some kind of shit going on.
And they were justified in doing it because he was holding a rifle. Come on now. We are just the harvest. We need to stand up, and perhaps we need to say what she needs, some mental health support. That's what she needs.
Yeah, but what? But it goes back. Please let me finish what I was saying. But you have to understand that what do young people and people in general glorify? They glorify entertainers and con artists. And until you change the entertainment that controls and programs them, you're not going to see sustainable change or outcomes. It'll just be a band-aid. So you have to do something.
People have to change what they want in life. And the best change maker is the universe, because the universe is not going to let you pretend. All those places that are being burned down to the ground, that's not a pretense. All those floods and all the negative that you have no control, that's not pretend. You will change your behavior. You will, because you're not in control. Look and see what's happening.
I understand that. It does make a lot of sense that to try to control the media and try to control people, I just feel so in line with that opportunity.
The game has changed.
It's the way to go. I understand and I accept that.
But people are fishing every day. Now people have a fun. People have to find something that's relevant, and they have to accept the trials and tribulations. If it's working for you, more blessings. But if it's not working for you, pay attention, because there is a better way.
Yes. That I've seen, that hasn't worked for me. But nothing really has. All I know is I don't want to be a liability to myself. With my philosophy, if I have this mass media control agenda personally, that is foul conversation to people who are trying to do business day by day. There are many people who are going to jump on that boat.
What's happened over time is that the narrative has...
I've isolated myself through some of my philosophy.
Perhaps, but 2 years ago, everybody was making a little bit of change on on Anchor, and everybody was making a little change on Wisdom, and perhaps there were some other apps out there that were paying, but 2 years ago, they stopped that shit, and then they changed the game. Everybody had to do a certain thing or had to have a certain this in order to continue to participate. I chose not to participate over there on Noom. I didn't follow that because they wanted so much from the other sites, but you can still share in writing the wave. You first must understand that it does exist, and it's only going to be what the universe is trying to bring.
It's a safe way to go, and I'm telling you what, I'd rather go along with that than go along with my unfounded, very hurt, very damaged disposition and point of view. That is not okay.
You gotta let go.
Yeah, I gotta let go. It's just, listen, Darlene, if I were to succeed in life, of course I'm going to help out some kids. Of course I'm going to help some wayward people. But I can't live, I haven't been living my life day by day as if that's something I want to do.
Well, I mean, we all have to participate.
Yeah, he is. It's hard
go
for
with
him
the
to
crowd.
take care of his mama.
But see, that's how they get us. That's how they get us, because, divide and conquer, but you have to understand that it is not limited to your own understanding. When we come to the table, then we can discuss what they've been discussing about our people forever, because they just need more money to bring more support to our community, because we don't know what we're doing. Seriously.
You don't know.
I mean, because we're not discussing the data, who the fuck is, because somebody is. Period. And they just need more money to help. Pull people out, but I'm not broke. And I'm not broken either. I know exactly what needs to happen. You all need to wake up. Because in the year of 24, when you got somebody running around the White House, it used to be President Day, who brought his wife over here. But then he wants in all of the, there'll be no more people coming in here saying just because they were born here, they become American. Well, I'm just saying, what makes you an American?
Yeah, I told him that.
That is my question.
He's not into that yet.
Exactly.
You have to,
anybody can be an American at any given time. As far as what I understand.
Can they? Because they don't feel the same way you do. People come from other countries have different perceptions as to what it is, because they think that you're spoiled, they think that you're lazy, they think that you're shiftless, and what are you doing when you don't know shit?
About me?
No, people in general. Don't take it personal.
What's the secret?
Because we're just looking at our people.
Yeah.
And saying,
they probably do think that.
But it's just not immigration. The people who have made policies for the Native American people, and they ain't making it here either. They're not. But they have been willing to what? Be good community partners. We just have people here who ain't going to be good community partners. To think that they're just going to, they're supposed to have everything because they figured out how to come in and steal. It's your problem that you didn't understand that they was taking.
Exactly. What a mess.
But we let this go on because every 10 years we have the census. Every 10 years. We count the number of people.
Because every now and then,
Charlene, you are right. I am wrong, and I know that. I'm wrong.
The thing is that how you were raised in education skipped massive parts of everything. You just jumped and leaped around and said the Pledge of Allegiance and got out of high school and didn't know nothing. Then you went back to school, and then you decided to make an area of expertise for yourself. Now you come out with this expertise. Well, where are you going to put it? I mean, God has blessed you, and you could create a product and just run on your own.
Well, darling, that is possible. But because, like you were talking about some other issues that other men have, and I got issues, and I really don't trust myself to be able to make a lot of money. I'm in a very strange position in my hometown. My hometown and community has targeted me and my family like you have never seen.
Oh,
nobody's had the experience like that.
Get it. Oh, no.
It's over now because I fought that battle for about 10 or 15 years.
Yeah,
I fought the battle every time.
Yeah,
but I'm still going to end up saying I'm
That's
wrong.
why I said a closed mouth can't get fed.
I see it sometimes, but it's just too
right. Well, things did change, but I need to open my mouth up and try to do some business. But it causes me cognitive apprehension because I'm used to
slowly empower people, slowly help people get to the next step. And I said subscribe. Didn't I say that word? Because that's the game they're playing right now. Because Microsoft went to subscription based. They don't want to sell you the whole Office product anymore when they can get you to subscribe for $3.95 a month forever.
Right. That's very interesting. I wonder how banks look at subscription versus revenue.
You have to fight anytime you try to trade something and they slap and start charging right away when they said you had a time frame of canceling. They have control of your money as soon as you give it to them. As soon as you let them into your bank account, you can't do that shit. Because they want you to subscribe. Why do you think that I didn't move towards subscription? At first I did, and I thought about it. Because I got sick and tired of them just taking money out of my account, fucking me over, because immediately I would miss a bill or a bill date. And then I wouldn't have the money. So that's why, they're offering me all these debt solutions right now. But I don't want to give up 2 of the credit cards that I would have to give up that I'm surviving on right now. I just need a job. But I don't need a job more than what I need to do is awaken people, because we're moving towards this election, and we still have people saying, oh, girl, get away from me with that shit. I don't do politics. And I'm saying, are you serious? Or don't you pay taxes? I mean, but you are paying. We're paying the salaries of these people who will not talk to you and who are over your children because they're under the compulsory rule of public law that says you will attend or we will come and take your children. And here in Las Vegas, they have a 48% population of Negro children in the foster care system. And every time I go to Costco, I swear to God, these motherfuckers are older than me with a baby wrapped around their neck, and they be black. Don't black. Enough is enough. Because it's a harvest, and they just simply give themselves $50,000 scholarships or awards, or the kinship money is so much here. And you can have up to 14, you can have up to 14, you can have up to 14 and be white and have a house and run it. So are we running the plantation or what?
And the insurance is due.
Because what? Locally, we're not paying attention to what they're doing. We're actually helping them. Because at the age of 11, they've got this thing called a habitual disciplinary problem. I don't know how they got it with IDEA and all the special education laws that are required when you take the federal money. But you can do whatever you want to do when you take the federal money, as long as no one challenges you.
Yeah.
Period.
That's funny.
We have flexibility. That's the truth.
In an administrative process. I don't want to be subjected to administrative review, but neither do others either.
But guess what? They don't have to, because George Bush said unless the people living in that community choose to stand up and object, the federal government is not going to get involved until COVID hit. And then they saw that they were really abusing these people with no knowledge, sending them thousands of miles away from their families at such a young age. And they said, if you don't clean that shit up, we're going to sue you in court. That's what they said. So now we're hearing real meetings talking about the data. And I can't wait for the next one because it's going to be funny.
I've seen Las Vegas, and they seem to have changed their tune about federal government
of
compliance
course,
after
you don't understand. I don't know. Yeah.
That's it. I gotta say you're right, and I'm gonna keep chasing that carrot for sure. It's the best thing I can do, and just try to overcome whatever roadblocks I've put in front of myself. Because nobody has done nothing to stop me. I probably stop myself every day.
Exactly, every day you say, "Oh, I don't know if I can do that." Or you don't know what the consequence, but the mere fact that you have the tools to look forward and understand what the consequence may be, and then take a trial run.
I don't like I don't know if I like the sounds of that.
I mean, but it is a trial run. It is a trial run every day.
Yeah, it's a trial run, but I mean, some stuff gets real. Like if I put in a legal case on somebody or
because then you take it down to the person, and they can come back at you. I mean, you could talk
That's
about
what I'm saying. I got something going on right now.
You need to be careful because you only expose yourself when you're trying to bring somebody else down that might be criminal. Because they might be criminal, but if you don't got enough money to fight that battle, then you have to know every loophole that they went in so you can pull them out of it.
Well,
and so you need to slow your roll. You just need to slow down.
I understand what you're saying.
I know you do.
The problem is, I have a problem with something that wasn't right. There was a process that happened and it wasn't right, and now they're saying some money is owed. I said, well, let's go ahead and resolve this in a court because I don't think y'all were reasonable. Let's try to get some reasonability to it. But some people take court action as an act of war.
Oh, yeah, because they have to, because if they let you win, then they're really screwed, especially if they were doing something unethical. So you have to take the morality of whatever they were doing and how they got to you in the first place, and you have to file an appeal. What is that, CBP, that Consumer Protection Bureau, and then you have to have them look at it. But then did you know that there's an Office of Civil Rights, that OIG, the Office of Inspector General. Now they can have a complaint there too, and they go through the list of different types of complaints that it can be. And then you can,
like I was telling you at the beginning of this conversation, Darlene. I was telling you, and this is a very bad attitude to have. I said, well, I would go down for something. I would go down fighting for something that was legit. Why would it be that I have to go down? Because I don't.
Because there are people out there that just enjoy winning until you screw it up for them.
Right. Well, I'm not winning.
Because if you're the only one that is objecting, they want to know what your fucking problem is. And what do you know that they don't know?
Yeah. I don't know nothing. You talk about, I'm intelligent. Half of that might be delusional.
No, it's not delusional. No, it's not, because my dad told me you research everything. So you going down to the codes, the law codes, the federal codes that deal with transportation, that deal with roads, that deal with everything. There is a federal process in which we got there and how we came to the conclusion or the solution that all children are mandated to go to public school within territories. They choose the ages because the people get to choose the age that they want to educate. Some people don't have an end age, but some people say 21. Some people say 26. So that's why I said compulsory law. I thought that people should know what it was. So then I could go in there and go to USA.gov and type in compulsory law, and then it come up to the page, and then I can let the computer read it. This is a fantastic reader. Yeah. And then we can talk about it. I mean, but the whole thing is you need to understand that every state is different in this nation. Each one, reach one, teach one. But just because the state is doing it doesn't mean that they are solely correct in what they're doing. They figured a way to make it work for them, and screw you. Right. Because if you're not willing to stand up and fight, you get nothing. But if your parents didn't do that for you, that's kind of like, that's trials and tribulation. That's generational curse. It is a generational curse, because one day you still have to wake up. And they have to understand that we have to participate in this world, and we have to act just like they do. We have to figure it out. It is our responsibility to figure it out. How come we can't let it happening? There are barriers. The biggest generational curse is the lack of intergenerational wealth we have as a black community. Oh, no, there's money. Oh, no. You just need to understand there are black people who have been so wealthy, and there are black people that have been so gifted. I mean, it's a black man that made the refrigerator. Why? Black man that made the street light. Come on now. What black people have not, the cotton gin, what they have, but they're never going to allow you to benefit, because you is not willing to stand up and be heard because of the consequences befell us in the past. We know what it feels like, but we still have to get up. Yeah. We still have to get up. You know, people got different challenges, you know, like funny little situation. Somebody I met, and they said, well, I'll tell you what. They said, your mom did a great job raising you. She did. My mom raised me too. Mm-hmm. She had to. You came out of the DNA. I was 18 years old. I might have been with my her DNA, and I don't care. And you know the apple came rolled off the tree, and that's just the way it is. That is the way that it is. It is. But the reason I mention that is because talking about some blacks having and some don't. You know, some people have. There were rich black people, wealthy, that owned slaves during slavery. So let's just really talk about the house and the field. Let's not pretend we don't know shit. We know. Are you serious, girls? Black people that own slaves? Yes, I mean, but you got to be. I think my family did that. There were always blacks that owned slaves. There were always blacks that had money. There were rich black Europeans. I mean, let's just pretend that we woke up and this is 2024. Why should you be any different from anybody else? You wouldn't necessarily want to be. The easiest thing to do is say, oh, woe is me. I got these kind of problems. And, you know, that's the easiest thing to do. And excuse yourself because you what? Don't know? I mean, it's terrible. No, but no, because we have Google. Google shares everything with you that you even think you might want to know. Yeah. And AI is coming. AI then came to the table, and AI can write your goddamn book. AI can do whatever you tell AI to do, and they are terrified. AI is here. See, and here's the problem with me, because I'm back to this media control thing. And I think it's kind of a problem that everybody gets to wake up and see everything on the internet. I think that makes people unhappy. Well, that's just, too bad. I mean, because we're here too. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Well, that's the problem, Darlene. But it doesn't have to be too bad. If we can get customized, tailored media solutions that are individualized to people. But that's what people are doing, customizing media solution and tailoring things so that they can make money ahead of the rest of the crowd. One of the biggest problems that me and my mom talk about with the new news media and the new news cycle is it's me TV. You can find validation for whatever deluded opinion or delusion of grandeur you have. You can find a supporter. You can find a chat room for it. So you think it's real. It's the correct way. It has no, it's not. I'm just saying that's misinformation. Irregardless, you will be pulled down the right path if it's the benefit and the way you're supposed to go. Well, that's a good way to look at it. And I hope that these little kids who are in trouble in their life, I hope that they can be pulled in the right direction.
Because it doesn't have to go like that. All it takes is for you to make one mistake, and you've got a scarlet letter for the next 7 years.
I mean, that's true. Just look at Henry Ruggs. I mean, when you understand Henry Ruggs and the story of his life, $6.7 million at the age of 22, playing football. They got that child from Oakland and brought him to Vegas and gave him that money and allowed him to buy a sports car. And in the middle of the night, he wasn't forced to work with any bodyguards or whatever. He's on the street. And so his attitude cast a check his ass couldn't carry. Yeah. And now he's in lockup for 3 years. But white people are really pissed. They might not let him come back simply because his behavior got him in that situation. And he killed a white woman. I mean, she wasn't white, but she was Mexican, and her dog. The mere fact that he killed a dog, he may never come back. Look at Michael Vick.
Honestly, and Michael Vick even goes back to the whole entertainment aspect
Michael
of
Vick
it.
wasn't doing the dogs. I mean, his people were at his house. But honestly, because we, the people, just don't do politics. Well, you did not graduate high school thinking about how you were going to go into the field of political, grandeur. But white people do, and their kids do too. They are born into it, and they show up when they need to show up.
My family actually is very political. My dad was a fundraiser for the Republican Party in the 80s.
I'm saying it's a need.
My cousin was
need to do.
When I was vice president of the student body at Nevada State College, I inspired a black movement. I got a black president. I got Paisha Swanson to run. She was a black senator. It was a black movement when I was there. There was a lot of black people on the student government because I was going classroom to classroom telling them, hey, I'm running for vice president and you could join the student government too. And I would tell them I had a football team.
But you understand that we still don't have the movement. It didn't last.
It's very effective like that.
Yeah, that's the work you have to do. Consistent.
Yeah, I know some of the top people in Nevada because I was on the student government. I know I know college presidents because of student government. I know.
So you can demonstrate that you've been in that circle. I'm saying you have to float in that circle.
Right.
Well, that's why I'm taking my knowledge and starting a community government. I'm starting a community government, and it has salaries. Our salaries for the young people that work for us are $40,000 to $50,000 they have set aside for them. The adults that mentor the young people get paid our salary budget is $40,000. Overall, the whole program. I'm making it happen. I'm going to go to the library today and print it out, the last pages of my proposal out, and I'm going to start going.
I think somebody will fund it.
I know somebody will. I presented my business to Nevada System of Higher Education when I was vice president. I presented my organization, Real Education Matters, to the Nevada System of Higher Education. And they were very impressed. And they loved my energy and enthusiasm. And I have it on video. Everything I've ever done is on video. I am the Truman Show. I don't know if you've seen that, but I'm the Truman Show. Everything I've done, everything I say, everything I brag or talk about. Huh?
Yes, I've seen the Truman Show, and I know what you're talking about. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. So, my whole life has literally been on. The first time I was on TV officially was at 16 years old. I was on Poker Dome Challenge in the audience. Then when I was 18 years old, I got expelled from school and it was all over the news, and I was on the news for that. I got the school district sued for $150 million. Then I left. Then when I graduated at Opportunity School and I went to college and became a teacher, they fired me as a teacher and it was on the news. And it went viral in the school district and all the kids were talking about it. They're like, I know him. He was my teacher. He was so fun. He was so cool. I went viral. But they use me as an example. They make an example of me on the news all the time. So yeah, that's why I say controlling the media is probably the most important thing because if you're a rapper, you're going to die by the time you're 25 to 30 at a 51% death rate. That is the highest death rate for any musical genre. If you listen to country, jazz, or blues music, you'll probably die in your 60s to 70s, but you'll probably have a heart disease, cancer, or I forget the other one. If you listen to rock music or punk rock music or metal, you'll probably die by suicide at a 30% rate. So if you listen to heavy metal or rock music, you're gonna die from suicide. If you listen to rap or hip hop, you're gonna die by homicide at a 51% rate. That's all of the entertainment industry. That's what all these kids look up to as entertainers. And these entertainers don't know what the hell they're doing. They're puppets.
But why would
They're absolute puppets.
I'm just trying to understand why would they? Because you just said it. They came in the game with a gift, and that's all they'll have. Some people develop that gift beyond that and utilize their elevation in a positive manner, but the blessing goes to those who are willing to take the chance and step out there. If you have a gift, then you
they say though, man.
Huh?
But like, if I were to put myself out here, say politically or something like that, I've grown up in this little town I live in. Somebody could roll out the woodworks and say anything about me, and it's not.
Where do you live, brother?
I live in Elizabethtown, Kentucky.
Oh my goodness, what's that like?
What is that like? It is like 88. No, it's like 88 white people for every 12 black people, or 7 black people out of 100. That's what it's like.
Okay, so 12% black population.
Well, one of the local community college registrars said it's actually 7%.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? You do know the black population in America has been 13% ever since it started. It never goes up, never goes down.
Yeah.
But all the other races flourish. But our race always stays at 13%. 13 is a cursed number last time I checked. They have us doing ourselves. If we got the Crips and the Bloods organized and got them to work together and stop killing each other, we could take over America. Because if we kill ourselves even more than white people kill us. Or that's what they want us to think. You know, you have to fact check everything you read.
Parties and all this chaos is going on, and these young women doing the twerking. I mean, these are people that are lost. They don't even participate in sustainability or sustainable options for their.
No, they don't. Yeah, but there's such a reward in it. Yeah, you know, if I can come out here and mislead some people and get paid, then I might just want to be misleading people for a career.
I mean, but that.
Well, I was speaking with the mayor of Henderson, Andy Hafen. I was speaking with the mayor of Henderson, Andy Hafen, and I told him, I said, when I was student body president, I don't realize it, but I sold my soul. I sold out on the students that elected me. I got elected by telling them I'll stop budget cuts and then I'll make sure tuition doesn't get raised. And then the dark side, the devil lured me.
But did you have a plan? Did you have a plan?
You said what?
I said, did you have a plan? How did you plan on making that happen?
Well, I was going to budget cuts. I was going to budget cut fights, and I was going to meetings. I was meeting with officials. I was meeting with the Board of Regents.
I understand, but I'm listening to what Nevada actually does, and I don't understand how they do anything because they just use the money and they're not providing real services for the people.
Well, the fact of the matter is, what I told Mayor Andy Hafen, Mayor of Henderson, Andy Hafen, former Mayor of Henderson, what I told him is that the chancellor of the Board of Regents, the chancellor is who runs all 8 colleges in Nevada. There's 8 colleges in Nevada, and the chancellor who runs all of them. The chancellor actually worked for Stations Casinos. He was a spy for Stations Casinos. They want people going to jail. They want people going to jail, or they don't want you truly educated. He was stealing money from the Nevada system of higher education and funneling it into the Stations Casinos. He got caught. When he got caught, all the students were sad and they were like, "Oh my God, why are they doing this to him? He couldn't have done that."
Laws that they don't punish people like that. And
you said what?
They've written laws that when they run out of money, they just run out of money and they're providing services. So they've already covered their ass. It's the people that have to determine enough is enough.
Right.
That's just it.
People have to start going to the meetings monthly. Like, people have to start protesting at the meetings.
They can do that.
They got to read because the laws have never changed. None of the federal regulations have changed, and that's how come right now they're having a problem because they're having to answer and respond to questions that they've never had to do that because they had all the flexibility And the federal government will give you flexibility. That's what they do. When they're asking you for real shit, you better have it.
I mean, that's right. You come and you ask people questions, they'll stay there, they'll answer to your questions, and they'll go home to their nice little house and nice little salary. But, you know, being under public question, you could lose that public position, I guess.
You can't. I mean, there's no guarantee. I mean, the federal regulations are the federal regulations, and it's just regulatory guidance. But you have flexibility, but nothing changes the obligation to the responsibility for the bottom line data. Let's hope they have it. And
I hope they will. I don't, you know, it's hard for me because ethics and morals, all this stuff is good. It's just, you know, I continue to isolate myself in philosophy.
Governor got elected here with the ethics violations, and then they're coming after that black woman for what she's saying about how she believes blacks are treated and because she's a judge. The district attorney didn't want to hear her personal opinions, and quite frankly, everybody has a right to have a personal opinion. You know that. And so the deal is that what we're going to tolerate is we're not tolerating no data anymore. We're not tolerating zero access or the inability to have equal access. They're just going to have to get it together. That's not my problem.
Well, also, another problem is they censor our facts. Their facts are only true if they censor ours. And what they do is censor our facts and voices.
And I'm saying they're violating my freedom of speech. Period.
Yeah.
You can't tell me.
Me and you are both in Facebook jail right now. Is that a coincidence? I've been in Facebook jail I'm in Facebook jail until August 1st. I don't even know what it was that I posted that got me in jail this time. I don't think it was outrageous. Now, sometimes I do post outrageous shit. Then I'm like, okay, you got me. But this one, I don't even think it was outrageous. I think I posted something about a church event coming up or something. And they don't
want you to share, then they will lock you out. And I'm telling you, no one has the right to force you. And it's like the Matrix. When you start to wake up, then they start to get ill.
But listen, Darlene, my whole life, I leaned to
when I was at Nevada State College,
I go ahead, Carol.
I was going to say, you won't believe. So you like the Matrix analogy. I love using that analogy all the time. People, goes over my mom's head. But Agent Smith, do you remember Agent Smith from the Matrix?
I do.
$1 million sitting there that they can't.
I have dealt with Agent Smiths my whole life. They admire and glorify me from a distance, and then they get to know me, and I start to share some of my eccentric point of views, and then they turn into Agent Smith like real quick and turn on me. Maybe they don't. Some of them will.
They don't have it, and
we have to rise above the individual level and understand that we're just dealing with policies that have been implemented that bring harm.
Who I am at 66 and being.
Well, I'm sure you're right.
We're just gonna have to understand.
Because, like I said, the way I see it, I can't win. I can't come out and sue every municipality. You know, I mean, it's not applicable. But all I know is the way that I try to resolve problems is very high risk.
Policy that has been implemented is very damaging and is bringing harm to certain people. You have to be able to. Did you listen to that attorney that was describing racism and disproportionality and impact and everything? He broke down how to talk about when a policy has been created that brings harm. Did you listen to him?
Huh? I'm sure that's helpful.
Well, when I go back in there, I'll send you his.
Did I do okay?
But I took screenshots of what he was saying because it made sense to me.
Oh yeah. Make sure you.
And we have to work from where things make sense because they don't always.
Well, yeah, I know, darling. But it's what works for somebody else and what makes sense to somebody else might be completely different for somebody who came from a different life.
Because I'm telling you, because you went through your journey, but you got specific skills through your journey that I didn't get.
In the back.
I understand that, but I'm also extremely high risk to myself, and other people aren't.
Oh, because everybody has weaknesses. Let's not play into the weaknesses.
Yeah. I surround myself with people.
You might drink. I mean, but you're not gonna get drunk and go behind the wheel. There's certain things you're not gonna do because you know right from wrong.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yeah, I know right from wrong. For a while, I did not. There was a time I did not.
But aren't you grateful? Like I said, you come into a part of your life where you're feeling obligated and you're feeling responsible and you're feeling loved and nurtured and forgiving too. Forgiving, you're feeling forgiving because
I gotta forgive myself. I gotta forgive the police officer that gave me trouble. I gotta forgive the state. I gotta forgive everybody. But I don't know, Darlene. What you said, there were some assumptions, and I don't know if I agree. I got sidetracked.
Yeah.
I don't know if
because it's not your journey, it's mine. I mean, I've never been in situations where I've had law enforcement on me. But,
Well, good. Nobody should.
But they did.
Because you had better sense than that, Darlene.
No, my mom used to beat me all the time. And I do mean, I was beaten. I mean, till you see the welts come up and the little blood come out of the big pores and they'd be bleeding. And she apologized before she died. And she just said that she made wrong decisions, but she didn't know no better. And that's true. You only do what you know how to do. Doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. When you face with the challenge, you have to make the decision that makes more sense to you.
Exactly. But then the way I see things, I'm wrong. Because the only way I know how to resolve certain issues is through maybe filing a complaint or a legal process or something like that. Then look what I'm bringing to myself.
That's a skill set that you've learned.
As long as it does not expose me to tearing myself down, and ruining myself because I'm suing somebody.
But I told you, you also have to have people like-minded that have a desire to achieve some of the things that you would like to achieve. And I said, you've got to begin. Just like my sister keeps telling me, I've got to start the work. You've got to start the work, and people who are willing to do what it is, the level of work that you're doing. I mean, it's just breaking it down, making it make sense.
You're right. At the end of the day, any type of little problems I have, it's because I haven't done what I need to do every second of every day. Every time I feel someone.
You're not the only one. I'm giving my lesson too.
Well, good for you.
Yeah. I mean, but we still have to do the work. Nothing takes away our obligation to do the level of engagement that we have to do to bring people along. Because it's the work that must be done. And it's just in a way, I have to go back to you keep telling me that's relevant. Or, my friend Nehemiah tells me that's key. How many 3-year-olds are enrolled in the Early Start program? Because that was a direction straight from the Department of Health and Human Services, from the Biden-Harris administration, and which states chose to do the work and which states chose to ignore that obligation, of personal obligation and responsibility to bring equity and access to all people. Where are we? If we weren't included in the conversation, then we just need to get there.
Look, you're giving some great advice. In some way, I know I got to put myself out there eventually, but if I could, what salad dressing you want? If I could, I would not put myself there. Because there's way.
But there might be somebody that you could use, that you could utilize, that has the level of skill to ask that certain question. You don't have to do it for yourself. That's why God gave you
I'm telling you, because it is not worth it to me to come out here and say, well, I'm Harrison Isom. I want to go to politics. I'm Harrison Isom. I have a new record. No way, man. I'd rather be Harrison Isom because I'm me. I don't want to be Harrison Isom for somebody else. And, that's a big challenge for me. I'm not here to be nobody's hero, man. For real.
No, but we still have to answer the question. We have to answer the bottom question. Where are we since 18, whatever it was, that we had the Emancipation Proclamation?
Well, we are scribing. We are crabs in a barrel half the time.
You're exactly right about the crabs in the barrel, but guess what I was so blessed to have happen? I moved away from the persecutors. I live in Henderson, the suburbs of Las Vegas. My mom saw me get expelled on the news, and she was like, I'm getting you out of this town right now. We moved to Henderson. I'm not around my friends that talk all the shit about me, that say that's not a business, it's not a business, it's your hobby, it's not helping anyone, you're just wasting your time. All that negativity's in Las Vegas. In Henderson, they treat me like a king. I'm like a local celebrity. Right. A lot of people know me in Henderson. I'm very popular in Henderson. Vegas, they hate me. They idolize prophets in Vegas. Yeah. Well, that's encouraging to me. Because it's beautiful. Get out and change the perception of your day and how you're perceived and received in your community just by moving. That's wonderful. Wow. No, literally. There's 4 churches in Henderson. There's a...
Oh. It's already charged. I did something. Oh, what did it say? It said, oh, it's time to go. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, it's time to go.